The code challenge for today is smelting iron ingots. And this has to do with Minecraft, apparently. And here's our parameters. Each ingot takes 11 seconds to produce. And this is the type of fuel that we can have. We can have lava, which lasts for 800 seconds, blaze rods, coals, blocks of wood, and sticks. And it says we have to calculate the minimum amount of fuel needed to produce a certain number of iron ingots. And they give some output here. So we might have 2 lavas, 1 blaze rod, 1 coal, 0 wood, and 0 sticks. Now, minimum number here, you can interpret that a few different ways. I think based on this output, I think I'm going to interpret this as the exact amount needed. Otherwise, you could just increase your number of lavas until it covered the amount total, and that might be a minimum number. Or you could just count your sticks up until you have enough, and that would be a minimum number. So I think we're going to do exact amount here. I have the instructions as comments here, so let's get started. We're going to make a function called fuel, and that's going to take the number of ingots that we want to make. Now we know that the amount we need is going to be those ingots times 11. That's each ingot takes 11 seconds to produce. So that's how many seconds we need. Okay, and then let's encode these types in code somehow. So I'm going to have types, and I'm going to put them in an array so I can loop through them in order, because I'm going to calculate the amount of lava we need first, then blaze rods, then coals, down to sticks at the end. So we have types, and each type has a name and a number of seconds that it can produce heat. And so let's copy these. Then we have blaze rods, coals, woods, and sticks. Okay, and then this is 120 seconds. This is 80 seconds. 15 and 1. Okay, and then we're going to return an object here, and I could create that object, or I could also return a reduce of these types. And that may be confusing if you've never used reduce before, but let's learn how to do that. Okay, so we're gonna have types.reduce, and reduce takes a function, which I'll fill in later, and it reduces into either an object or an array or a number, but this is the type of thing that we're gonna return. So we're gonna return an object, which is exactly what we want up here. Okay, and then reduce takes the result of every loop, and it gives you the value every time it loops. So if we reduce on this types, the value will be each row every time we loop, and the result will be whatever we build up, starting with this empty object. So I always return R right at the end here, because I know I want to continue to reduce into this object. And here's where we get to calculate what goes inside of R. So we know the keys are going to be the names here. So we have R at v.name, and that's going to be the number of, say, lavas that we need. So this is going to be the floor of whatever we need right here, divided by the amount of time that each one of these things can last. So that's v.seconds. And then every time we loop here, our need will be reduced by, so need minus, the whatever we just put into here, so the amount of fuel that we just calculated, and that's multiplied by how long each fuel lasts. So if we start with 1,000 and we have, say, 1 lava, it will get reduced 1 times 800 seconds. Okay, and then we return R. And this is kind of the power of reduce. It's that in just these few lines, we should have completed this assignment. Let's take a look at that. So we can do console.log, and we can say fuel for, and then call fuel for some number. So let's start with, say we want 1 ingot. That should be 1 times 11 is 11 seconds. And so that should be 11 sticks. So if we run this, there we go. We have no lava, no blaze rod, no coal, no wood, and 11 sticks. Okay, great. Let's say 2. What would that be? All right, 1 wood, that's 15, plus 7, and that equals 2 fuel rods, which is 22. All right, now what if we increase that to like 100? And I don't know if that's right. I would have to do some calculations off camera to see if that's right. But I think that we have a correct function here. All right, if you think I interpreted this incorrectly, or if you think you know what minimum amount means, then feel free to leave a comment below. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.